Good morning, everyone. This is Tyrone Clark. I'm the CEO and founder of Broker's Choice of America. I'm going to do an introduction, and I want to talk about Stanley Targos and his organization. We have been working with Stanley for quite some time, and the subject matter of college planning has been in our marketplace, our environment, for at least the last 20, 25 years. And what you're about to see is a refreshing, whole new, completely different approach to the entire marketplace of college planning. Now, what is so different, what is so unique about what you're about to see is that you're going to hear about an organization where the colleges and the universities actually partner with Stanley's organization, and they actually bring their students and their families to Stanley's organization. Now, I've got on my cell phone, texts and communications like almost daily with Stanley's organization. And I want to tell you texts that I have on my phone right now, where at one of their events, they were scheduling appointments. I'm telling you, they were actually scheduling appointments at an event that was put on by the college. And by the way, his expenses for these events are, I think, some cookies and some refreshments. That's it. We're not talking about mailings. We're not talking about seminars. We're not talking about social media blasts. But on my phone, Stanley was texting me like a boxing round by round, how many appointments they were setting at an event. Like every 10 minutes, they were scheduling an appointment. So what you saw in this invitation is the real deal. It's not a bunch of baloney, smoke and mirrors. And these guys they're not new kids. They've been doing this for about 15 years. But you're going to see how to set up a no-cost, it sounds crazy, but it's true, community workshop seminars. So Stanley Targos, why don't you go ahead and show them your program, and then I'll come in at the tail end of your discussion.
That sounds fantastic, Tyrone. Thank you so much. I appreciate the relationship we have, bringing quality people to the table who can actually go out and be of service and value in the community. God's given us this platform to stand on, and we want to use it in a way that honors Him and glorifies Him. College planning is one of the biggest issues that people are facing today. What we figured out is how to set up no-cost college planning workshops and own your local community and be the go-to expert. This is new. This is different. This is not your dad's college planning business. What I think is fascinating is when we think of becoming a center of influence with content, not products, it's the key defining moment for what we do. My question that I ask every person that I come across, whether it's at a live meeting, an event, whether I'm networking, whether I'm at a Christmas party, if I want to have a conversation that goes somewhere that leads to an appointment, it's how many people know exactly what their son or daughter is going to do after high school? Almost 100% of the people know their son or daughter is going to go to community college, junior college, a four-year university, trade school, the Army. They know exactly what that next step is. Ask them how many people know if there's a cost to that next step. 100% of the people raise their hand and say, I know there's a cost. Then my next question is the one that separates us from the pack. How many people know how to pay for it? Less than 5% of the people know how to pay for it. And I've been doing this for over 10 years, been in front of thousands of families on an annual basis. This is not a small sample. This is a large sample. What I love doing is becoming the center of influence and solving that problem that has the most pain with everybody in the industry. When you work with the masses, you can actually grow your business. I don't want to ask questions that 1 out of 30 people can say yes to. This is a big problem. This is a momentum builder for your business, and this is a tsunami that people are looking for a lifeline to. When we want to deliver a no-cost solution to families, we have a proven marketing message and a proven system that works. My question about traditional college planning is, what does traditional college planning mean to you as an agent who's working in your community? And when I ask agents this question across the board, it's time, it's a big learning curve, it's having not alignment with what they do when they enter the conference room. Are you selling a product to someone to get into college, or are you selling a product to help them pay for college? Are you living with your true identity of being a financial professional, living in a world helping people solve financial problems? When we do college planning without a cost, we actually position ourselves as the pay-for-college specialist using a pay-for-college solution that's free. When you position yourself that way, you're the family's most valuable resource during their most expensive years. And the value that we have is the software that we've created with the timeline gives us a quick and efficient sales cycle. Traditional college planning, you might sell the $1,500 or $4,000 college plan and 4 months later wake up not having sold anything that you want to provide for your professional career. In our business, it's 2 meetings and we're taking applications. It's a much different swing. It frees up your calendar to meet with people. When I meet with people, it's to gather data, to get fact finders, and to deliver solutions. All the heavy lifting of designing the solution is done with the software and the program. I used to spend 3 to 5 hours per family designing a solution for the college they want to go to. Is it the right fit? How do they pay for it? How do you manage their 529, the 401k, and every other aspect? Right now, all that's done with the software. And what I want to do is give you a sneak peek of what the client receives, because that's going to be the value add and the deliverable for what we look at. So we have a solution that we've designed for the Keller family. What's nice about this is the very first page that they see we're going to solve their $305,000 college problem. We're going to save $137,000 on their out-of-pocket costs for college. We're going to increase the retirement, this family just a little bit. But what my promise to them is if I solve your college problem and reduce your retirement lifestyle, you're not going to do it. So I always have to increase their income. How to boost their emergency fund by over $250,000 and how to have $81,000 of unfunded future health care. When I look at their goals, and this is directly from the fact finder, the first meeting that we're gathering this information, what's important to them is reducing debt, paying for college, building a nest egg, having an emergency fund, protecting their savings from a market crash. She had similar goals, but she wanted to leave a legacy and not be a burden to her kids in retirement. My promise to them is that I will accomplish those goals as I design the solution, keeping their family at the center of the strategy instead of somebody else. We have a ton of information that we're going to give them in a packet. Most importantly is how much are they going to save on college and what the out-of-pocket cost is. It's cash contributions and parent loans. And if I can reduce those significantly enough, the family walks away winning the game. When we look at the after-college impact, what happens to their income? What happens to their total income? What happens to their out-of-pocket costs, their emergency fund, and their unfunded health care? They actually have the things that are important to them. Taxes are important to most people, so we include a tax-free element. And she said leaving a legacy was important. We solved their college goals, kept the emergency fund, and have a $400,000 tax-free legacy that goes to the kids or grandkids, guaranteed. When we look at the colleges that they're interested in, we have the ability to put up to 10 colleges in there. If you notice, we have a reduction in each of their college costs because they decided to take action, make some changes for how they're going to pay for college. When we look at their current EFC, and this is where the traditional college planning market lives, we'll reduce your EFC, you'll get a Pell Grant, you'll get money for college from being on food stamps and being a single parent. That's one of the 5 areas that we work in. So when we come across an EFC that goes from $26,000 down to $18,000, I'm not in panic mode because I'm still going to solve the problem and add value. The beautiful part of this is everywhere that there's a change is highlighted so I know exactly what I'm talking to, and it's still a reduction in their EFC. That has an impact on their total lifetime cost of college. When I look at their current way that they're funding college, they've got a total cost per year, they've got some savings. We encourage every student to take a student loan, they've got work study, but a major portion of how they pay for college is cash and savings. It's in direct conflict to what's important to them, having an emergency fund and being in control. That has an impact on the retirement Well, first, how they pay for college, and then the retirement. They want to have $90,000 a year. With inflation, they need 144. They're only at 65. They don't have any other benefits. Their emergency funds depleted. They don't have tax-free income. They don't have unfunded health care, and they don't have the legacy they desire. That's why they're stressed. When we show them how we pay for college, a lot of this is the same, but what's different is they actually have some parent loans. And if I can structure parent loans on the front end and then show them exactly how to pay them off, there's not a burden, it's not an obstacle, it's just part of the plan. This new savings plan is a product that we're going to provide. It might be a whole life or an IUL. It might be something that we want to use internally that's different than insurance if they're not insurable, but that's the secret sauce for how we work. And we're going to pull almost $80,000 out of that program to pay for their college costs ongoing without taking additional loans. The impact on their retirement and how they pay for college, their pay for college strategy covers almost 60% and a very manageable amount of cash flow and loans. When they retire, they have $67,000 of income. They actually have some tax-free income, and they have income for longevity, more than what they had before. They do have a little bit of debt, but they're out of debt before their kid graduates college, which is phenomenal. We've preserved their emergency fund, given them tax-free income, unfunded health care. We still need some unfunded health care on Helen, and we're going to make a note of that. That's a future sale. We're planting a seed. And they've got a legacy of over $400,000 to accomplish their goals. When we show them how we pay for it, I'm not going to get into the products we use. I'm going to talk about the funding mechanism now. In the first 16 years until they retire, we got $24,000 the first 5 years to fund a program. This program, I used a high cash value IUL. In the next 6 years, we used $18,000. The final couple years, we used $6,000. And I tell them where the money came from and why we're using it, how it's working more efficiently for them, how they're not going to have an unintended consequence down the line, and how they're able to maintain control. When they say that's a lot of money to spend on an annual basis, I say it's not all of your money. We've built in a buffer zone that shows you what to do if gas goes to $4 a gallon, if the price of college increases, or if your lifestyle expenses go up. You have wiggle room. We're keeping you in control, and we're allowing you to manage the process with a strategy that works for you. We're showing you year by year where the money comes from. On your bottom line for your economy, you're spending exactly as much money under option A as you are under option B, but you get far more benefits. And when we look at the side-by-side comparison at the end with their goals, what's important to them, the reason they have stress is because their goals are not met with how their current money's functioning and flowing. But under our scenario, we increase every area that's important to them. Their college debt's a little bit lower. They have lower out-of-pocket costs. They have higher income. They have higher tax-free income. They have higher lifetime income. They actually have unfunded health care. They have an emergency fund. They have legacy. And yes, their holistic goals are improved 100%. When a family walks away with a solution like that, what are the chances that they're going to want to do business with you? The next question is, if you're in front of 100 families and you deliver a solution like that, how many of them are going to say yes? So how do you get in front of more people? Let's talk about that. When you deliver a no-cost solution using a proven marketing message, you have the ability to get in front of as many people as possible. So when we use the 36-month plan to own your community, it's designed not to be a crutch of $8,000 to $10,000 a month for mailers and seminars and professional plate lookers. We've all seen that. Those work in certain industries, but my goal is to help you manage the money in your business so you have more money to take home to your family. My wife always asks me, how are you spending so much money on marketing and advertising? She doesn't quite understand that brings people through the doors, but she'd love to have me reduce those costs to have more money come to my family. You're probably the same way. But when we strategically calendar traditional events, 3 to 4 of them per year, and on each mailer that we use, we do 2 events. So we actually get double duty out of our working dollar for marketing. We use a paid event as a launch pad, and I want to tell a quick story here. We did an event December 3rd. People tell me, Stan, you can't do events in December. People are on vacation. It's Christmas. It's New Year's. It's right after Thanksgiving. That's garbage. You know what the beautiful thing about college planning is? There's an urgent need year-round. And at the end of the calendar year, the beginning of the calendar year, the end of the school year, during summer, there's pain that families are feeling. I happen to have the solution for that pain year-round. We did an event December 3rd. We did a mailer for it. We paid for it just like you do. What's different about us is we actually invited people that we were marketing to over the past 6 months to that event. And from that event, I have a well-being benefit event presentation in front of 1,200 employees. 1,200 employees are going to come and hear an event on how to pay for college and how to eliminate college debt. I'm not paying for that seat. They're going to attend my 2 breakout sessions. I get to go for free. We had a homeschool group attend that has 2,500 families that wants us to do a half a dozen micro events in front of their families at their annual symposiums. And we have a realtor who decided to put on a client appreciation event. When she marketed it on Facebook, her high school where her son attends wants to push it out in a market for her to bring more people to the event. Those are unpaid events that happen organically because we're using our paid events strategically. It's the ability to get 3 opportunities to find you from each event so that you're filling your calendar with unpaid marketing that gets you in front of people. When you do well-being at corporate events, we have a nonprofit affiliation to Heartland that gives us the ability to educate without expectation. It gives us the credibility and the credentials to go and talk to families on these concepts. And it gives you the ability to take advantage of price discounts, room discounts, mailer discounts, and door openings that normally would not happen. When we talk about organic low-hanging fruit, I'm talking about the people on your LinkedIn and in your neighborhood. We're doing an event in 2 days. I pushed out an invitation for free through LinkedIn. I got 38 people accepting the invitation in the last 3 days. I know 6 of them or 7 of them are going to show up. I know 1 or 2 of them are going to give me an event at their place of business, and 2 or 3 of them are going to become clients. That's the beauty of it. Who do you know that's in HR? Who do you know that works at a school district? Who do you know that's a guidance counselor? Who do you know that's on the PTO or the PTA? We did an event at a soccer event in the fall time called the Spooktacular. 5,000 families showed up at each one, and we got to market to them for free as a value add. Those are the low-hanging fruit that we want you to market to. When we want you to replicate the process, it's to use your organic events to have the same results we did. We did 52 events and got 1,200 attendees with under $3,000 per year, several years in a row, based on this approach. It's the same approach you can have, because my gut says in your backyard, there's grade schools, high schools, middle schools, parents, PTO, travel sports, there's churches, there's youth groups, there's Girl Scouts, there's Boy Scouts. If you have those in your backyard, Chamber, Rotary, Kiwanis, you can do the same thing we do. Paid events should still happen. They're not going to replace them. But when you do a paid event, it's a client appreciation. How many people do you meet that say, Stan, I'd love to invite my neighbor. What do? Invite them to my event. Be a superhero. Decision makers from consistent marketing efforts. It's so easy to invite a decision maker to an event where they're not buying anything. They're there to learn about the process and see if it's a good message. Invitees from past events who couldn't attend. What do you do with all the people who no-showed your last event? We invite them to our next event because they still have a pain point. It's just more painful because more time has gone by. It builds momentum with time and then goes into perpetual lead generation. We have the lowest cost of client acquisition in the industry using this approach, and so can you. There's families all over the place who are dying for this information. For more concepts and details on topics like this, follow me on Insurance WebEx Mentor page where you'll get details, checklists, and guides. But more importantly, we want you to increase revenue per family with the most powerful college conversation that you can have. And we know that clients are motivated when we do this because they have pain happening every year. They don't know how to afford the $150,000 to $250,000 per child that they have to pay in the next 4 years. There's an urgency because August 15th, they owe 20 grand. If they're not sitting on 20 grand, they need to know how to pay for it. Our solution gives them that roadmap. There's lifetime value of the clients based on the age of introduction. We're meeting people from 45 to 60 years old. We average 3 to 5 sales in the first 2 to 3 years per family. And when I encourage the students to take a student loan, I set mom and dad at ease and let them know when your students graduate, so long as they make $25,000 to $30,000 a year, I'll help them get out of all their student loans in 4 to 5 years after graduation with a 95% certainty. No pain for the student. But that's another sale for me. That's another way that I can anchor myself and cement myself in that family, so the work that I do on mom and dad transitions to the kids, and I get to maintain that business. It's the easiest referral source possible. Go ask those 3 questions. Do you know what your son or daughter is going to do after high school? Do you know there's a cost, and do you know how to pay for it? I can solve that how you pay for a solution. And it's higher commissions. We average between $12,000 and $14,000 in first-year commissions per family in the first 120 days when they become a client of ours. 30 to 40% of the people become a client in the first 120 days. 60 to 80% of the people we work with buy something in the first 2 years. We provide them a solution, and they like us and they know us. So we want you to dominate your marketplace with the college planning workshops that are easy for clients and easy for you to set up. Here's what your next step is. Take action. Attend a discovery day and learn the ins and outs. We just did 15 minutes today on an overview. You want to separate yourself in your backyard as the pay-for-college specialist instead of a get-into-college unpaid consultant? Attend the event. With the nonprofit certifications, you have a leg up. We're going to show you how to save time and increase appointments by leveraging the software so you can become a fact finder professional and a solutions professional. You don't need to be a technician. Technicians don't make the kind of money that sales professionals in our industry make. You need to spend your time in the conference room. How to solve the most pressing issue that a family faces pre-retirement that has the largest impact on their retirement. They want to meet with you. They show up dumping information on your desk saying, solve this problem. How do you let our system do the heavy lifting? We'll design the solution and get it for you. We'll manage the communication with the client so you don't have to wonder what next, and you don't have to be an expert on all the college lingo. Our system takes care of it for you. And we're not bait and switch. It's not show up at a free seminar and then buy a $2,500 plan. It's show up at a free seminar and get a free solution. We're in front of so many families, I don't need everyone to buy the solution. I need them to just like the information, attend, and when they're ready, I'm ready for them. Leverage the social platforms. I mentioned my LinkedIn. I've got a Facebook. We have a platform that I hit one button and all my social medias got communications on a consistent basis. When people are ready, they reach out to me. When they reach out to me, ironically, I'm always ready for a conversation. And then we want to become a trusted partner, not just a counselor. And when you do that, people view you as a resource for the high school, for the grade school, for HR to do lunch and learns, because you're not peddling a product, you're peddling information that they need and they want. So the next step, call 800-344-4105 or send an email to marketing@brokerschoice.com. One of the business development advisors will walk you through the process. They'll get you more information. They'll send you tons of information and literature. If you're serious, I will spend 30 to 60 minutes with everybody who wants to have a conversation, asking as many questions as you want. I have nothing to hide. The system works. If I'm capable of doing it here, and I've seen hundreds of people work the same system across the country, you can do it too. Tyrone, I'm done. Would you like to wrap up with any closing comments?
Yes. What I want to tell everyone is, Stanley just said he just covered a lot of information in a short period of time, but we're doing something really unique, pretty special, and that is we want you to get on a plane and we want you to go see the process. I want you to get on a plane and then you're going to go there, you're going to see the workshop, and you're going to see the people wanting appointments, and then the next day you're going to see how they quickly take them into process. Now, one of the big criticisms of college planning has been the sales cycle. When do you write an app and when do you see an income? What you'll see with Stanley is their process immediately takes over their entire planning process, where the client is really wanting them to take over their whole finances. So it's totally a different approach. It's not like getting piecemeal things. It's where the clients their illustration, their plan that they were showing you, takes over the entire finances, which is incredible. And so you're looking at premiums that are like $10,000-$20,000 annual premiums, and moving all the annuity accounts. So it took them many years, many years to perfect this. And they have a machine. So they have a sales machine side, but they also have the prospecting side. Now, here's the only negative. The negative is we cannot have advisors crawling over each other in a same market. So you lose, you snooze, you lose. So those who come out and they lock down their marketplace, then there's much more to this whole process with the community outreach that they do and so forth to gain those relationships. It's pretty heavy duty, but we can't do it with a bunch of advisors. So we're just looking for advisors in the key areas, and we're looking. This is something over the next 5 or 10 years. You become debt free, take care of your families, stock up money for retirement. This is it. This is the right program. So I want you to come out to the Discovery Day. You can call our office. There's the number there. You can email us, 1-800-344-4105. You can talk directly with Stanley if you want. But give us a call and let's get the process going. But we think probably in 1 or 2 years we'll probably have all our territories covered and we didn't get into the average like yearly sales, but it's pretty substantial. It's an eye opener. So anyway, thank you. You're welcome to call me, call Stanley, email us, and we'll give you the dates and times for our Discovery Days, as we call it, and I look forward to meeting you myself. Thank you, Stanley.
Thank you, Tyrone.
Take care, guys. Thanks. Bye.